right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the effects of bitters and in the body and digestion. And generally speaking, digestion begins in your brain, right? You're smelling food, and that kind of triggers your parasympathetic nervous system to kick into relax and digest mode. So one of the things that can be most helpful is smelling incredible aromas, and that will stimulate your digestive secretions. But if you find you're one of those folks who have difficulty getting into that relax and digest mode because maybe you've been going all day and then you get home and you're like, I just have to slam a glass of wine so I can chill out because people are screaming and the kids are crying and there's a mess in the house. Nobody picked up what I asked them to. And you're like, oh, I just gotta relax. I gotta relax. You could start, you could have a glass of wine, sure, or you could start with some bitters. Like you could take some aromatic and bitter herbs, combine them, sprinkle a little bit in your club soda, put a little ice, maybe a little wedge of citrus in there to start simulating some of the sour salivary response. Sorry, you can stimulate the salivary glands with the sour response and the bitter response. So if you're doing that and suddenly you're like, I can smell a little bit of fennel, a little bit of anise, a little citrus, and maybe you do a little citrus zest, and you're like, food is coming down.
So one of my favorite ones is right over here is we have chickweed. This is chickweed right here, Stellaria media. So we can see some characteristics of it. First thing to notice is the leaves are opposite each other. They go directly across from each other. It has a pretty small, a little rather inconspicuous flower, but it has 2 sets of 5 petals on it. So it'll have like these small little petals that are white, and there'll be like 2, but it'll be like 2, 2, 2, 2 in a set of 5. And it's just a really juicy kind of succulent plant. It kind of grows almost through this like ground cover like growth habit. And it's really a nice, gentle lymph cleansing remedy. It helps to kind of move water in the body. It's a really strong water element plant. And when you just like see it and you taste it, it's just like crispy and fresh. It kind of reminds you of like sprouts. When you have like sprouts in a sandwich, it has that nice, crisp, like yummy texture to it. I was talking about chickweed. I just gotta have a bite now. Very good chickweed.
And so some of the herbs that we will talk about, one of them being dandelion. This is one weed that a lot of people will know already. It has this beautiful yellow flower that grows out of its stalk and its rosette leaf form. And dandelion is really nutritious and is bitter. So with bitter herbs or bitter weeds, which a lot of these will be, these are medicinal to our digestive tracts and to our gut. It can help kind of liven our digestive process. It can help stimulate digestive juices and release bile. And so this can be really helpful in the springtime, especially coming out of kind of that winter hibernation. Winter tends to be really slow and kind of calm for a lot of us. And so when kind of the sun comes out and the flowers start blooming and the plants start showing themselves, we become a little bit more active, or maybe find that we're outside a little bit more. And so using something like dandelion can help aid in kind of shaking off some of that winter heaviness that we've acquired over the last months.
What I want to go over with you is a little bit of behind the scenes. If you're putting together an herbal clinic and you're working in a disaster relief, or you're working in an underserved area, places so you know where to start when you're putting together your teams and trying to plan for the equipment and materials that you need in order for it to be a successful thing, and for everyone to be well cared for, and for there to be a minimal amount of stress. So one of the first things you will want to think about is the number of team members. This is very, very important. In the previous picture that you saw of our team that the other organization planned for. They planned for roughly half of what ended up being on that trip. They added on people at the last minute, brought in a couple of extra translators, brought their own kids, and they were not prepared for the number that we had, which when all was said and done was probably in the neighborhood of 35, 36 people. And that number kind of fluctuated a little bit. So knowing the number of team members that you have is very important, and a lot about those team members you'll have to know in order to be able to adequately provide the materials for them. And by that, I mean provisions. By that, I mean having adequate food, water, and medical care.
Hey everyone, this is Mason with HerbRally. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't already. So each month we're gonna be releasing a video just like this one where we show you about 1 to 2 minute clips of the classes from our membership site called HerbRally Schoolhouse. For more information on that, go to herbrally.com/schoolhouse. And basically there we release new content each week to our members, new exclusive content to our members each week, and it's only $10 a month. We also have an annual option where you could pay $100 at one time, and that'll get you essentially 2 free months. You could cancel at any time. So yeah, if you're enjoying these classes, you want to get the full context, you want to get the full class, go to herbrally.com/schoolhouse. We'd love to have you as a member. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. If you want more great herbal content, you could watch this video right here, or even this one right here. Good.